So we are about to get a pretty extensive update, as they've just released the patch notes for the Korean server. This comes with the new workshop, allowing you to use all sorts of different gear items as appearance. A new event revolving around mystic keys getting bonus rewards, the cost reduction to trait resonance, significant improvements to arena, however still not perfect, extra rewards from trial random queues, and a bunch of weapon balancing and fixes, with then a ton of quality of life improvements. And finally, those of you on consoles will be able to edit your HUD. Be aware they will also be balancing the Talandre field boss and arch boss weapons. And they even pretty much officially approved that Orb and Gauntlet will be coming. They are in the works. We can already see the mastery icons in this mastery list. I'm sure it's deliberate and a bit of a teaser in this patch notes. But let's get back to all the other details. So we begin with the illusion workshop. The option will be in the mirror boutique to ultimately convert gear to be able to use it as an appearance rather than being stuck with either an outfit or the visuals of whatever gear you're wearing, because you say need those stats. We already received a dev blog on this for us here on Global, where they did cover pretty much the costs, and yeah, it's going to be 100 lucent per scroll, and you need a whopping 6 scrolls for weapons, 2 to 3 scrolls depending on the armor piece. The patch notes here don't give us more info on the costs. However, it does clearly show how you're going to have one of each slot type here, including capes, of which you can unlock the appearance items of certain gear, allowing you to use those particular pieces and mix and match how you want. Just be aware, you're going to have to extract the appearance from a certain item, and when you do so, that item becomes destroyed. So you will have to consume an item to get the appearance of it. It will also be limited on which pieces you can use, and it will be displayed on the tooltip whether that appearance extraction is possible. And I assume over time they'll probably add more that you will be able to extract the appearance of. And yes, you'll be able to change the colors of those items too. And ultimately, customize your look far more than what we currently have. Again, it has been announced we are getting this May the 1st too. And very likely with the rest of the things with this patch notes, including the Mystic Portal event. We should be getting this event too, as Tico did say that we'll be getting catch-up events throughout May. Unless we get some different event, which is highly unlikely, it will basically allow you to have a 100% chance when opening a Mystic Globe to open a lucky Mystic Portal. This will allow you to enter an instance, which allows you to open a chest, a goblin treasure chest, a regular treasure chest, or treasure pouches. Each treasure has different rewards you can obtain. We can check the event information page here, and maybe we'll be using different keys. We might not actually use those regular keys, and they should let you get 5 of these lucky mystic keys every day, according to the check-in event here, which lasts 2 weeks. You will interact with the Mystic Globe to open the lucky Mystic Portal. You enter the new dimension to obtain your hidden treasures, but the rewards within them look to be this. Again, for us on Global it could be slightly different, but it mainly looks like upgrade materials and resources. This is just the bag, then the normal treasure chest. Similarly, just upgrade materials, although there's like a golden fishing rod. And then the goblin treasure chests have artifacts, blessing pouches, potentially ammo toys, weapon XP, solent. Doesn't really look like we'll be getting gear from this one. I'll be able to check this out later today when the Korean servers actually get this update, although the event doesn't start until Thursday, I believe. But then that changed to trait resonance, simply what we already got announced via Tico Talks, but it also includes archboss weapons. They will cost you 6 in order to randomly roll what trait resonance you get, and 40 to select. From what we know here on the Korean server, you will need to do material transmutation in order to obtain trait resonance fragments. These you will craft into these trait resonance stones. you will need 2 of each of these ores, 5 of those fragments to create 1 of these trait resonance stones. And those you will use in order to unlock an extra trait on your gear piece. The prices again will be changing. You can randomly roll here. Weapon has the selection of traits and it costs you 4 right now to randomly roll. This is getting reduced to 3. But if you want to select 1 trait to unlock, it costs you 80. But again, that will be getting reduced to 20. It has been confirmed this will be the case for us too. If you unlock it randomly by rolling here, you can always keep re-rolling until you get the desired trait. Just be aware, generally the good traits that you want are the hardest to obtain. Like, look at the probabilities, they are different. If I want hit chance, it's only a 4% chance that I'll gain it through rolling. So if that's the case, if your trait has a super low chance to obtain it, you will be best off guaranteed selecting it. So if you have not been doing so already, save gear for the material transmutator. In the solo dungeons, they're adjusting it to drop all Nebula accessories as far as I can tell here. And the arena, they're changing it so if you get a draw at the end, nobody loses points. And for wand users, you will now not get a game with an imbalance of wands. If there's a magic wand user on the friendly team, there will be one on the opposing team. If there's no magic wand user on the friendly team, then there will be no magic wand user on the opposing team either. If you're not aware, you cannot change weapons while you're within the arena. For that matter, you cannot even change gear. This, however, is still not a perfect solution, but it does address if you have a healer on one team, you will most likely have a healer on the other team. The unfortunate thing though is that the other wand user could just be playing as a damage dealer. So ultimately, don't do that. If you're going to play wand, if you want to play arena, you have to play as healer, and you pretty much have to play as longbow wand and then have a very good heal build for that. Anything else is kind of just griefing your team, because if you're playing an off meta, say wand staff, and you're trying to heal, you will be significantly worse at it than a wand longbow user. Therefore, you're letting down your team when the enemy has a wand longbow user and you can't keep them alive while the other healer can. So it's still not a perfect solution. Pretty much if you want to play wand in arena, you have to be a full dedicated healer. Otherwise, you're just griefing yourself as soon as you're against another healer who is a full dedicated healer. But we move on. Nebula is getting changed a little bit, so the maximum recharge time is limited to 10 hours. They'll be adding back the rewards that you can get through the random trial queue here, and they will be changing up the balance of some of the Talandre field boss and archboss weapons. We need further details on this. I will get them to you as soon as possible, but they very likely won't update this until the patch is out later today. This can be pretty game changing. Then we have a whole load of weapon adjustments and fixes and a bit of balancing. The attack height of melee weapons has been adjusted to 3.5 meters, so if you have a height difference, you can still attack people. The longsword then here, a bunch of adjustments balancing with, say, using less specialization points for Blade of Annihilation, fixing the tooltips here on a lot of these abilities, and just be aware with the greatsword, your guillotine blade, they fixed an issue so it will now be affected by weaken resistance. So it will have a chance to not apply if your enemy has greater weaken resistance than your weaken hit chance. With the dagger, they finally adjusted Moonlight to actually have a 4-meter range. This amusingly was in our patch notes last week, but never actually got implemented because they never changed it on the Korean server. And it's unlikely we ever get an update before the Korean server. So the devs were a bit of ahead of themselves, announcing that 1 week early. There's an adjustment to the cast time with your crossbow. It will activate 1 second later. Your counterattack, and they changed it for the staff so that the healing reduced amount actually stacks with other abilities. the dagger's knife throwing, and the greatsword skeleton blade. It's very likely in a diminishing way, so you can never get a true 100% heal debuff on somebody, but it's at least going to be over 90%, so they'll take next to no healing if you apply both debuffs. However, this just seems to be for staff, so it's only going to be the staff ability plus one of the others. That's it. It's not like the knife throwing can stack with guillotine blade. They fixed for the wand your specialization, so your valorous barrier should no longer say fall off. That's also your blessed barrier without this specialization. And ultimately a bunch of weapon mastery updates to improve the tooltips with the nodes when you hover your mouse over them. And then we have a lot of quality of life improvements here. With the party board, they have like a special store. Unlikely we get this one. You can unequip all items and stat sets from the menu by selecting the equipment you're wearing, improve the mouse rotation experience when using mouse click and drag, added the ability to disable, say, the tattoos from the god costume. That could be the golden one we just got. The storm collar one, that would be great to be able to remove that glowy effect. Improved, say, buying in bulk all the different items from the vendors. The minimap should properly show the delivery location of certain items when you say click on them, with dynamic events, adding a bunch of emojis. And when you enter a random matchmaking into a dungeon, it will show what role you queued up as. So you can't sneakily queue up as healer and then not actually play as healer. Everybody will know it was you who are supposed to be healing them. Same with tanking. Just don't kick somebody immediately if they queued as tank and then they're actually playing as a DPS, because those random queues, I can play even tier 3s right now as an invocator, even as a dark blighter, and with the amount of heal sustain, I don't need even a healer to keep me alive, and I can pretty much tank if I'm the best DPS there. Sure, there's a risk I run into somebody who has more DPS than me, and then they have the threat of the boss, and then they might die because they don't have the self-sustain, but that has just been a very rare case from what I've experienced right now. But yes, this will allow better clarity on who's supposed to be doing what. Still no improvement with, say, the boss fights. Like, you shouldn't be able to start the boss fight without other people being there and then excluding them from the boss fight. Just directly teleport them into the arena, why not? Or just don't allow them to start the boss till everybody's nearby in the arena. You can now easier share your pins. You can search your recipes for cooking. Runes will have a system message when they say fail and accumulate growth points. It says here the Vanguard General set has been changed to be unsellable like other hero tier 2 equipment. I don't know if that's referring to the Vanguard Auric set that we currently know of. It's very likely we won't get that changed too, but there's a possibility, just because currently on Korea the Vanguard set comes from dungeons. I don't know why. Maybe they want to change it so it can't be sellable. So just be on the watch out for that. But yes, all of the gamepad HUD edit abilities, that's for consoles. You can change the location of your user interface displays. There's also an improvement to the camera settings on your Xbox. And then a bunch of UI error fixes here. What looks to be also an event where you'll be able to receive additional rewards when you queue up for the random trial queue, potentially getting extra rune boxes. If we check the event details here, it simply says you will obtain 1 additional reward rune probability box for each stage. Yeah, that's not that great of an incentive, honestly. So I don't see that event being very helpful. They are still having their rotations of outfits, and there are some known issues. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for the update notes here for the Korean server that they'll be getting for tomorrow. I'm very interested to see what they will come out with the weapon balancing for those field boss weapons and arch boss weapons. But again, we're going to have to be patient and wait till they actually update this blog. You can by all means continually refresh it in hopes they do so, but from my experience, they don't update that until we actually get the update pushed out on, say, the Korean server. And again, yes, that tease with the new upcoming weapons. I'm sure they're still a big work in progress and they've yet to announce when they'll be releasing. They'll probably give us some time in advance, but of course, we can already prep. You can pretty much save all your saved up mastery XP for those, or saved up a mastery conversion. We might get both weapons releasing at once, or they could stagger them. Again, we have no further information other than them deliberately teasing them here. Before, we did have some data mining leaks, and this finally officially confirms that. Also be aware, this will mark the end of the Goblin event, which will be for us on the next Thursday after maintenance. So make the most of that, get those Goblin treasure chests, and it doesn't look like we'll be getting a new event that will give us the same gear. Just a Mystic Globe event with a bunch of upgrade materials. So thanks all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.